Hello everyone, this is HammerTron here with a new action figure review for you. This time I am reviewing the Animal Planet Extreme Safari Adventure. This is an exclusive at Target stores, and this was made in 2021, and I bought this in a Target store in 2022. And it comes in this open package. There's no plastic covering this, so we can reach in there and touch the action figure. We have a lion, and it says the jaws open and close, so we can try it out by pushing down on the button on the head, and the jaw moves. Here's the action figure, and there's a motorcycle and some other accessories back there. So when we have open packages like this, we want to inspect it carefully to make sure all the parts are there and that nothing is broken. That's a problem with these kind of open packages, where people can reach in there and break it. But it is nice to be able to reach in there and touch it to inspect it before you buy it. So here's the front of the package. There is the top. There is the bottom with some manufacturing information. This is made by Blip Toys, but Animal Planet is owned by Discovery Communication. Here is one side of the package, and the other side, and the back that shows all the accessories we get with this set. So I'll take this out of the package and review the action figure itself in just a moment. Here is our adventurer. Let's see how tall this action figure is. It's about 4 inches tall, or 10 centimeters tall. So that's a nice size. It's in scale with all the other Animal Planet action figures. And let's take a closer look here. We have a nicely sculpted head, a bearded head, some hair. However, I think the head is maybe too small. It looks a little too small, or he just has a very large body. So we have a lot of nice detail sculpted into the body here, and actually painted. So they did put in some effort to highlight some of the sculpted details on the body and the legs there. There's the bottom of the feet. And they did sculpt some details on the back here, and they also painted it. So they put in a lot of effort into this action figure. However, there's just a bit of paint on the watch, but no painted details. So they did miss some small details, but I'm surprised about some of the other details that they did paint to highlight. So it's pretty nice. Let's take a look at the articulation. We can turn the head just a little bit, not very far at all. And what's surprising are the shoulder joints. So the shoulders, we can actually go out about that far. So that's pretty nice. And then they go all the way around. And they both have single jointed elbows. So I think the weakest point would be the elbows here, because there's looks like a little piece of metal connecting the arms together. So if that little metal falls out, then the arm will fall apart. So if we're careful, we might be able to put the metal piece back in if it falls out. As you see, there's no waist twist, but the hips only move up and back. Kick up and back. Then we have single jointed knees that go that far, so we can put it in a sitting position or have him ride the motorcycle. However, the wrists do not turn, so he can't put his hands on the handlebar of the motorcycle, only on the sides of the handlebar. So looks like a pretty nice action figure. We'll see how long the arm joints last. I think those will be the first thing that fall apart. But It is kind of nice how they did put some effort into highlighting the details of this action figure. Here are the accessories that come with this set. All the silvery gray plastic pieces were on this sprue. I have removed them from this sprue. This backpack was not on that sprue. It was also included in the package. Now this backpack does have a peg, and it does fit into the back of the action figure. So we can plug it in place and it fits there nicely. So that works. All these other things, I'm just a little disappointed about them because most of them don't really fit the hands. You know, this thing that looks like a hammer, the handle here is too big for the hands. So this narrow part here, we can put that into the hand here. So that'll fit, kind of, but it's a bit loose there. And here is something, I'm not sure what that is, but it does not fit into the hand at all. It's just too loose. So that's a little disappointing. Here are some tweezers or something like that. That fits into the hand. That works. Here's some sort of mug with a handle, but it does not fit in the hand. It's too small for the hand here. We could try to wedge it in there, but I think we'll end up breaking something if we're not careful. And here's a syringe. So that will fit into the hand if we wedge it into that part there. So that works. And this, we can wrap it around the head. It doesn't really bend, it sticks out, but we can at least kind of put it on the figure. And then we have some pair of scissors, and that kind of fits in the hand. We have to push, and I think if we push too hard something will break, so it really doesn't fit very well at all unless we put it in a different way like that. But they look nice, but they're not quite effective with this particular action figure. Here is the motorcycle that comes with the set. So it looks like it is all molded in a single color plastic. Lots of details sculpted in it, but no painting. This is a sticker here. There are different colors of plastic here. Here's a kickstand that was already attached. We have a couple of wheels. They both spin very nicely. However, this does not turn. The handlebars can turn by themselves, but they are not connected to the front wheel. Here is the other side. Here are a couple of holes for the screws where this is put together, but some nice sculpting here. So no painting. It would have been nice if there was some painting to highlight some of the details. So perhaps someone can paint it themselves if they want more details on it. So we can put the action figure on the motorcycle, bend the legs, and put him here. And there it looks like he is riding the motorcycle, although we have to get it balanced correctly. So once we get it balanced, put the hands in place. Looks like that'll work. So it looks good for a display or diorama where our adventurer is out for a motorcycle ride. Here's the line that comes with this set. Let's take a look at the dimensions. It's about 4.5 inches tall at the highest point, or about 11 centimeters tall. And It's about 7 inches, a little more than 7 inches long, or about 18 centimeters long. And at the widest point, looks like it's about 2.5 to 3 inches wide, or maybe about 6 or 7 centimeters wide. So it's a nicely sized lion. So we do have some painted detail on the mane and on the face and the teeth, and it's not perfectly smooth. It has some fur texturing on it, kind of a bushy tail, but it's not painted. It has some claws, but no painting there. So I'm not sure how accurate these paws are. I think these paws seem to be a little bit long for a lion. I would think that the paws would be just a little bit shorter. It's got hollow plastic. We do have an action feature. On the top here we have a button we can push, and it closes the jaw. Or if we close the jaw, it moves the button. And on the bottom here, hollow feet. There are a couple of holes here. Now these holes are used to screw this in through the cardboard in the box to hold the lion in place. So there was only one. I guess only one was needed to hold the lion in place. So looks pretty nice. The articulation. This arm moves that much. This arm moves that much. Not very much. This hind leg moves this much. And this one moves that much. However, no articulation in the feet, so if we want this to stand properly, the legs have to be in this specific position for all the feet to be flat on the surface. So if we compare this with the action figure, you'll see that the lion is taller than the action figure, so it's a huge lion, because a real lion next to a 6-foot tall person, or 1.82 meters tall, a real lion would only come up to a 6-foot person's chest like this. So this one is a gigantic lion, and very, very scary. So looks cool though. Not as much detail as I would like, but it's a relatively cheap animal figure or lion toy, so I guess we can't expect too much. Here is our cave. Looks like a nice diorama piece, a nice cave facade. So nicely sculpted. There's lots of rock and vines and root on it, so the roots have a different texture, and the rocks are a bit smoother, and they're painted, so they put a little bit of effort into making this cave facade, or this cave entrance. It's pretty thin. Here's the other side where it is hollow, and there are a couple of holes on the bottom. Those holes were used with these screws. These screws were screwed in through the cardboard to hold this in place in the open package. So it looks like a pretty nice cave facade. Now, here's the lion. The lion is a little bit too tall to simply slide in. It just barely fits in. So the person, he'll fit right in there. So looks like a nicely sized cave, good for a diorama piece. So a little more detail than I expected. At least they put in some effort in the sculpting and the painting, so actually it looks pretty nice. Here's our Extreme Safari Adventurer next to a pair of 4-inch action figures. Here is the first adventurer from the first Animal Planet set I reviewed, and here is the Fortnite Jonesy action figure from Jazzwares. So I think they look pretty good together. So part of why I get sets like these Animal Planet sets is because they are in the 4-inch scale, and I do have some of these 4-inch action figures from Jazzwares, and so I wanted some of the extra vehicles and things to use to create better dioramas, or a variety of dioramas, and I wanted to see how they fit. So it looks like some of the vehicles will work pretty nicely, and I think this cave facade will work pretty nicely as part of a diorama, because it's about the right size and just adds a little more details to different displays and dioramas. Here is our Extreme Safari Adventure next to a pair of 6-inch action figures. Here we have the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin White Ranger by Hasbro, and here is the Marvel Legends Mr. Fantastic by Hasbro. And these don't work as well with the motorcycle or the cave facade piece. However, I think the lion is more accurately scaled with these action figures, because the lion seems to come up to about the chest of a 6-inch action figure, so I think this is more accurately scaled together this way. Here is the Extreme Safari Adventurer next to a 7-inch action figure. Here, this is Masters of the Universe Masterverse He-Man by Mattel, and another 6-inch action figure, the Fortnite Legendary Series Havoc action figure by Jazzwares. And I think He-Man makes a great giant action figure to work with the smaller scale action figures. This lion also works well with 7-inch action figures, although it's a bit smaller, but that's alright. So I think the He-Man would make a pretty good action figure to go along with this cave facade as some giant trying to get a small person running away. So a lot of interesting possibilities with dioramas and displays with a variety of action figures. The HammerTron Sledgehammer rating for this set is, I think it's okay. It's pretty cheaply made, but that's obvious from the open package that we get. We can see exactly what we're getting, we can inspect it, we can even touch it. So we know what we're getting, so if we decide to buy it, then we must think it's okay the way it is. The weakest part, I think, are these little accessories. Most of which cannot even be held in the hands of the action figure, so I'm disappointed with that. A couple of them we can kind of squeeze into the hands or wedge it in there, but it's a little bit too much effort, I think. But other than that, you know, everything else we can touch and try out, so I'm just happy with the extra detail they put into this diorama piece here. So he's an okay playset, and it would be nice to combine it with some other playsets to create a nice diorama or scene. So leave a comment, let me know what your thoughts are on this particular set. Thank you for watching my video. Remember to like the video and also subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my future reviews. I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.